welcome. It's Psychic Tuesday. Oh, gosh, we made it again. This last 2 weeks have been bumpy rides with this last 7 days. I got to tell you, the Mercury retrograde and the eclipse and all that, I've had the craziest stuff coming from friends from like grade 7 coming out of the past. It's like so crazy, and I love it. I love it. I welcome all only because it's that time to heal our chironic wound and joining all that eclipse energy and joining the Mercury retrograde. We have a couple of important transits that are coming up before the end of April. And so we're going to see Pluto and Mars come to a bit of a square now. I don't know. Pluto can be kind of, it's about power struggles. Mars is really aggressive. And then at the end of the month, we have Uranus and Jupiter coming to a conjunction, and pretty rare. I don't think we're going to have another one for the rest of our lives at any rate, but it's about powerful forces coming together, or powerful forces, friction. And we can choose which of those forces we feed in our day-to-day transactions in our own world and in the bigger world. Which forces are we going to feed as humanity, as a society? Which energies are we going to give our money to, our energy to, our thoughts to? Which bodies of belief, right? This is some big stuff for people, and it's around a larger chironic wound in Aries, and that eclipse is, it was only yesterday, but this next 2 weeks, it certainly will start to see that and feel the rebirth of identities and the rebirth of maybe purposes for some. And so let's get into it. I'm going to get into each of the signs, sun, moon, or rising. And you can be any of the three. Your rising sign, your ascendant, I'm using traditional whole house astrology, but your rising sign is sort of the cumulative of all. The sun is that divine masculine, the father figure, your career, your identity, ego. And then we've got the moon sign, the divine feminine, the mother figure, your emotion, relationship, inner world kind of stuff. And so read all three for some good insight, or listen to all three. And okay. And so let's get into it. So I'm going to start with our Aries, since you're the belle of the ball at the moment with all of this energy, Aries. And so even with that Venus energy joining you, it didn't soften anything. Venus is kind of like Diana, warrior of the forest kind of one. And so choose your power wisely, because you have to carry a light stick. You're eager for action, Aries, but you have to be mindful not to, because your weight, your power, your strut, how you walk in a room is going to carry some weight. So you have to be really mindful about how that's going to project to people around you, because all in good meaning, all in good heart. Just know that if you pack a punch there, Aries, this next 2 weeks. So keep that in mind around your energy, but also use that energy to focus it on things you love, believe in, want to embark on. Don't waste it on narcissist and crazy people, eh? Like, don't do it, because you might want to engage in the fight or engage in it. Don't do it. I feel like, no, conserve your energy and focus exactly what your goals are, because you're going to get them. That's like Aries stuff, and I feel like it's big stuff for you guys. Taurus, I'm going to go into putting effort into your life, putting eagerness into your life, your friends, your meetings, your home, your food, getting back to things, maybe starting to really think of possibilities going on for you, possibilities in love life. Hey, who's checking me out? And pay attention to who's checking you out. Pay attention to who's showing up in your social media. Hey, they could be cute. They could be like, hey, that's interesting. I didn't see that before. Action. Action's a big word for you guys this week. Maybe taking action. Maybe you're eager to take action. Maybe you're eager to start a season, eager to start spring, eager to get out there, especially with your birthdays coming up. It's going to be some big stuff, and Uranus and Jupiter conjunct in your sign, like once in a lifetime stuff there, Tauruses, by the end of the month and going into May for you guys. So it's some pretty hardy stuff. I guess if I say once in a lifetime, what would you choose? That's interesting. Maybe you've come to terms with that. It could be surprising. You could fall in love, or you can make commitments you didn't think of. Could be some big stuff. Geminis. Oh, my lovely little Geminis. You're trying to fare all this fire energy going on, particularly in your 10th and 11th houses, sort of in a sense. And um, resurgence of people, maybe resurgence of old jobs, possibilities, people. You might feel revived by this. You might feel like, oh, they didn't forget, or oh, I am back on the docket, or oh, my name is in the hat. So don't give up. You might feel a bit abandoned, even like possibly like people you thought were going to come through didn't. And I almost feel like maybe you're shedding that part of your life. um Regret is a heavy burden to carry. um I feel like the only thing to do with regret is plant it into and let it grow into something else. So regret is almost like I wouldn't do that again, and then choose something else, and you can grow that. Don't fall into old habits, old people, because you're feeling uncomfortable. Don't fall into old patterns because it's easy, because you're going to regret that, Gemini. Like, you might have to start over, and you're like, no, I don't want to start over. And for Gemini, you could even embark on new forms of teaching, learning, skill based ideas, your vocabulary, language, learning. And so all those beautiful words show up around you as well, Geminis. Cancerians. If I really think about this energy, a bit of shakeups in things you thought were stable in some way. And um, don't be your own worst enemy. Don't beat yourself up the most. Don't overcommit yourself. Don't think you have to get everything done in a day. Don't try to be little speedy person, getting around and doing things. Slow down, and really be discerning about what you're committing to. It's okay to say no. I'm going to give you permission, Cancerians. You got permission from B, and you're going to say no. I don't have time. And I know I don't have the capacity at the moment. No, I don't have the money. No, and it's okay. And so you have permission. And you might feel like you're wanting to stay in repetition, thinking it's discipline, where it might be it's time for you to move on, but you're not certain what that might be. I feel like all things abnormal, all things kind of shadow, all things, they all have value. So even in the parts you don't want to look at, or parts that seem dark or heavy, I feel like it's worth looking at, Cancerians, this next 10 days, because you're going to move on. It's like you're going to look at it, and maybe your resolution is, I'm resolved from it. I'm not carrying this burden anymore. And I like that feeling. I feel like it's a good feeling for you guys. Leos, my lovely little Leos. Um, so the first thing I'm going to say is concession, coming to meet in the middle, trying to see opposing sides, trying to open your mind to another possibility. And you could find things coming up where you want to get involved, but I don't think you should. I feel like you want to say something, but they're adults, they'll work it out. You have absolute right to your opinion, want to express it, give it thought, give it thoughtful dictation, write it down. Um, you'll have to really think about who's all involved once you share your opinion. And you might be coming across as well meaning, but it could come across as a bossy kitty cat. And I feel like be mindful. Um, about also getting trapped into things where people are wanting to antagonize you or wanting to draw something out in you. And I feel like you're like, no, I want chill. I'm going to, like, all summer is my chill summer. And so I feel like you're also maybe going to explore more of your spiritual side, maybe your inner self, maybe some higher self hypnosis. Maybe you're going to look at past life regressions. You're going to look at your ego self, your shadow self. It's some deep stuff for you guys. And I feel like in that, maybe you're going to be unafraid to share your opinion. Finally, maybe you're going to say, "I'm unafraid to share it, and I'm spiritually resolved with it." Oh, that feels good. That feels good too. I feel good. I even said that. All right, let's keep going. My Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Oh my gosh, Virgos, this is a test of how much you want to give up for relationships. How much of yourself do you give up? How much of yourself do you put in? How much This is going to be a big question you're going to kind of toss back and forth with yourself and others about how much of that energy you're going to put into things. And you're going to see opportunities popping up, past from the past, opportunities like it's like maybe you smell good, and maybe things are going quite good for you. Maybe there's the pregnancy showing up around you. Maybe there's fertility showing up around you. Maybe you could be a parent or grandparent. There's some real purification happening. Maybe you're just letting go of past constrictions on yourself. Maybe you're in a place where you just don't care. You're kind of like, I'm in a place I feel good about what's going on for myself. And it could come in with relationships, particularly long-term commitments. Libra, I've got my lovely Libras. Um, Stubbornness, hanging on to um, defending people, emotional traps and imbalances. Maybe and especially around love life, for partnerships, commitments, even in work and career directions. This is a time for you to get off the fence, and you're going to make some decisions about what is. And it might feel a bit impulsive, and I feel like, but you're like, I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. And that's going to be kind of a big message for Libras of the next 10 days. Scorpios, oh, you are so used to this energy of birth and redeath with that whole eclipse energy. So you're kind of used to that, Scorpios. Victory is yours as long as you have a backbone, as long as you kind of say, hey, I'm sorry, my glasses. As long as you kind of say, hey, I'm not putting up with that, or I'm not worthy, or I'm worthy and I don't deserve that kind of treatment. Maybe you'll have to have a backbone with traditionally things or people who took up your time, space, and energy. You have to create those boundaries. And, remember, there's times to laugh, there's times to have fun, there's times to be well humored, there's times that you can just enjoy and life can be fun. And there's the whole piece around your own convictions. Um, Really feeling stuck and maybe I'm not understood because my own convictions. And anytime this happens, maybe we have to lose ourselves in an act of generosity where we give back to community or humanity to pull ourselves out of that. Anyway, good luck there, Scorpios, and know that Spirit loves you. Sagittarians, oh, wow, this is really about money, home, finances, signing your name, all these kinds of commitments, the busyness of it, renovations, trying to get things sorted, paying attention to that. And that as sometimes Sagittarians love to be very free of home, be able to kind of have this freedom. But this is a time where if you really focus in on home, you might find your freedom there. You might find maybe you're able to pay off some bills. You're maybe able to release yourself of debts. Maybe you're going to find that the renovations really open up space in your house. It's things that will bring you freedom within your home. Capricorn, it's about your cash, your money, your finances, your work, new jobs, new opportunities, new directions. It feels pretty exciting. It feels like maybe some blocks that have been there are removed, and you can see in the next 6 months new opportunities popping up for you, possibly even a new job, career, or vocation for you. Aquarians, wow, this is new identity time, getting your power. You could be embarking on a new journey of volunteering, education, work, philosophy, learning things, wanting to get out there in the world, new friends, making new social circles, getting this new identity that's more in a community or altruistic sort of way, which feels so good. And finally, we got Pisces, and our beautiful Pisces, we have real spiritual. I mean, this energy that's going to show up for you, particularly when Saturn comes back into structured view, is harnessing your ideas, get them down on paper, finally start making the vision boards, make the ideas you need to happen more formal, make the appointment, make the phone call, get the ball rolling, Select days on your calendar to start organize when you're going to complete each task. It's time to start taking the esoteric and really moving it into fine tuning the detail. And this is going to work so good for you the next 10 days. And it could be some really alone time, vision boarding, getting journaling, getting your ideas more formalized, and then put them in your day timer. That's how you're going to commit to a task on that, even if it's just the start of something, because I feel like you can launch that certainly in once we hit that time of Gemini. It's going to be idea in June for you to launch anything, because I feel like you would have done a bit of your homework and worked it out. You can find me at bernicebissonpsychic.com. I read full time. I'm in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I'm going to go to my first caller, Vladimir in Brooklyn. Vladimir, how can I help you today?
Yes, hi, how are you? Yes, I'm just wondering, I'm currently, working at my current job, and it's been a while, and I feel like things have been stagnated a bit. I'm just wondering, is there anything else ahead in that regards when it comes to my career?
Well, let's look at future pathway for you, my friend Vladimir. What is the day and month of your birthday?
August 8th.
August 8th, 8/8?
Mm-hmm. 8/8.
8/8, is that what I heard? Yes?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, right. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay, like a second. So if I sound like a kook where I keep doing that, I'm sorry. I just bit of a delay. And so 8/8, let's explore that, my Leo, and look at opportunities. Now, 8 and 8 together is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 is a karmic life value in way I look at your birthday. And if I look at your calendar year, it tells me your life cycle. So if I explore that a little bit, you're moving into a 15/6, so a 6 life cycle. Opportunities, networking, you need to finesse, you talk about your work. And I feel like you're someone who's quite, and everything I'm about to say is with love, Vladimir. So please, the message is absolutely with love. I feel like this last maybe 2 years, yes, you've settled into this job, you've gotten into this job, and you're actually way smarter than the job you're doing. And you might have taken a job that is a bit um, process, something that could be a bit below your skill set. And that's okay, because as you build this job, you have one more year. And I'm going to say August, September in 2025 is your time to launch in your career. And you just have to put in this final year, because there's something between now and your birthday in August of 25. So let's say the next, 15, 17 months that you're going to put into place in terms of your certification, papers, certification, education, or something completing for you, that you're going to be able to really move forward in a job that is far more, I feel like would actually have a global reach in the job, that you could maybe work in a different location or a different company that has a global reach, that you're going to move from being in something that could be repetitive or that you kind of already know, and that's okay, because sometimes those jobs are great for allowing us to develop other skills to move forward. And I feel like right now, in your mind's eye, there's something very much around just your day to day finances and money. And I feel like you might get really focused. And as crazy as this might sound, you might have like a friend, cousin, somebody saying to you, hey, I've got some part time work, or I've got I got extra work for you. And you're like, yeah, I want the money. Like, yeah, I want the money. And so you'll have your job and what you're doing, which is going to evolve in about 15, 16 months. So I'm going to say August, September of 25, there's new opportunities on the table. Between now and the next few months, even leading into like this August, I feel like you could have friends, close friends, cousins, people who are coming forward to say to you, hey, Vlad, we've got I've got an opportunity for you if you want to make extra money. And I feel like there's this opportunity, you might just say yes to it and say, yeah, that's great. And I feel like the focus will be very much on that income and the hours you put in for that income. I'm going to say even over the next 7 months. And that's great. It feels great. I feel like you'll have something very key in mind, that's going to come for you. Like you have something that's very key purchase or something you're doing with this money. I want to also say that there's something very important about also how you look, how you're dressing, your style, your cologne, your how you, and I don't know, I know it sounds funny, but you might do a bit of a makeover. You might be redoing your hairstyle or how you present yourself. That could include your resume. You're polishing things up. And I feel like that's going to really serve you well. So don't feel like things aren't going your way because nothing's going on. I actually feel you're in a job right now that gives you the time and space to think about really where you actually want to go, because I feel like you still have to formulate what that might be. And I get a sense that, Vladimir, you could reach out to a recruiter or like, um, I'm going to say a recruiter because I don't know what another word to use. Like a recruiter who will have your resume. He'll say, "Oh, we're looking this company and this company and this company are looking for positions like you." And there could even be the offer of possible relocation, possible change in where you're going, or training that brings you to another state. Like you can get on with a company that has places or the training in other states for technical training within the company. And I feel like you'll have these opportunities really popping up for you. I feel like the spring of 25, I feel like that's a real golden time for you. Right now, it's a bit grindy, and I'm sorry, I don't want to leave you with that kind of feeling there, Leo, that put in the effort and the hours now. I feel like you're going to invest a bit of money in your wardrobe, how you present yourself, which is going to pay off. Like it's going to pay off. You'll see. Um, there's also something that comes up around really solidifying your debt. And I know it's going to sound funny, but I'm going to say you're going to have to travel soon. Um, you might be taking time off. You might be to go travel, or you'll have people traveling from afar to you, and you'll have to take time off to um, entertain them in some way or to settle them in some way. And I just feel like there's some news popping up before your birthday around that. Okay. And I don't feel sad by it at all. I don't feel sad for a second around it. I feel like it could be, I feel like whoever this connection is, I feel like you'd have plane tickets in your hand, certainly in the next 2 months. Okay. Vladimir?
Yes, I'm here. Yes,
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry. I
just
didn't want to lose you.
yeah.
Now, I have a few more minutes.
It's okay.
I'm just, so I'm going to finish my show just with you because I have a few more minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. And I just want to, is there something else you want me to look at, or do you want me just to keep going?
Yes, it keep going.
Okay. Just keep going. Okay. The other piece that's going to come up for you is around legal law, contracts, paperwork, commitments, signing your name, even in the next little bit. And I feel like it could come up in small ways and bigger ways. Small ways would be like, I don't know, cell phone contracts or having to go over leases, contracts, those kinds of things, data. And then in bigger ways, that could have bigger commitments where you might even look at talking to a lawyer. You look at discussing it with someone in the know. And before October, I feel like October is actually going to be really key around some of that discussion, and it's actually in good ways for you. Where struggle or challenges might lay, because it ain't all bed of roses there, my friend Vladimir. Um, where it might fall a bit of challenges is going to be people, relationships, oh, friends, romantic, you know, it's
Yeah.
going to be, it's going to be a bit challenging there. And I mean that with love, because I'm going to send you lots of love. But I feel like things that you might say or do, you might not get the anticipated responses. Like you could be surprised by how overdramatic or how completely not responding to people around you can be. And it might get to feel sometimes a little bit lonely or a little bit like why do I feel so alone in this, huge circle around me? I just want to say to you, part of this is for you to just to get really focused about what you actually want in relationships, Vladimir, because I think you're an everything and you're an everyone man. You're maybe trying to be everyone to people, and it could tire you out. It could get very frustrating because maybe you're like, I want someone. I want to be someone to people, not everyone guy. And I feel like this might come up for you in the next while. And I feel like the medicine for not being everyone guy is to commit to certain someones. And that could be friends where you go and you join something, you go with them, you join up with them, you make a ritual of it. That could be lovers where you make a commitment to follow through on dates and phone calls. I want you to be the follow through guy. I want you to be going out for coffee with people guy, really building connections again, because I feel like you might be feeling a bit disconnected and you might be looking for that identity, the whole piece around your career, where I actually think your career is probably really going to be a good part anyway. But I want you to be able to maybe feel like you have this, this closer connected circle of friends that you can really be yourself with. Because being an everyone guy can be hard because we're always fitting it. We're always like on. And I feel like that over this next year is actually, along with your career, is going to be another focus for you that's going to be really beneficial, because I'll be honest, opportunities and things are going to come through your friends. They're going to come through the people you were nice to, the people you made time for, the people you sat down and had coffee with. And I feel like that's where your networks are getting built. Okay?
Yeah. That's totally understand.
Okay. Thank you. And thank you for reaching out to me, Vladimir. And I'm sending you lots of love from Canada. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in to me. And I really appreciate everyone for that. And I want to say, I went to a funeral of a dear friend today who I just absolutely loved her. Nikki, she is just an angel. And it really reminded me to be really present for people in the day and moment, and every day is a joy and a blessing. Because if you ever asked her how she was, she would say, I'm blessed. And I just want you to know that you are blessed and you are loved, and we will see you in 7 days.